Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe OMI update video, a little bit of other stuff as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smash that super thanks button down below. And if you had seen my last live stream, it's about 90 minutes, you probably don't need to watch this video. We'll go over a lot of the same things that I did, just in a much more shortened version. Cryptoys had announced a partnership with Abstract. They're going to the Abstract chain. And Pudgy Penguins, like everyone who's anyone in Pudgy Penguins, like, this is great, this is awesome. And okay, why? I go and look at Will Weinrob, who is the CEO of Pudgy Penguins. I think we first heard about him, or we first got an interview with him when he was on the Queen's Court. Shout out to Lori Brenner, and everyone comment F down below to pay respects. Was one of my best friends, loved her. He basically modeled a lot of the stuff that Cryptoys was doing after VeVe. Not a bad route. And when looking at his stuff, and everyone's saying congratulations, because it's a pretty big partnership. Abstract has gone on and they have 640 something thousand followers over on X. Their Abstract marketing team has 300 something thousand followers on X, and it's like, okay, they do a very good job. All of their posts get at least tens of thousands of impressions, and some of them get hundreds of thousands of impressions, and that's something that VeVe hasn't done for a very long time. Tens of thousands they get all the time. Hundreds of thousands they typically don't do, and it's like, okay, well, what does this mean? This probably means that we might have some competition. I've said it before that VeVe has no competition, and this might put a stopper to that original notion, because if they have some, and the marketing is one thing, which is something that VeVe, I don't want to say that they've failed at, because it hasn't really been done. There's a quote from Star Wars Episode 1 where that old guy is talking to Qui-Gon Jinn. He's like, your negotiations seem to have failed. And Qui-Gon responds, the negotiations never took place. And I don't think it's fair to say that VeVe's marketing has failed when they haven't really done much of it yet. It hasn't taken place. And it shows because a lot of the people that were responding to Abstracts and Cryptoys post were people that was like, bro, Disney's going on chain. This is nuts. Web3 bringing out the big guns for this. And okay, a fair point that this is an amazing partnership. This is an amazing announcement. A lot of people thought Cryptoys were dead because they didn't have revenue for like a year and a half. And now they have like this huge partnership. And what's going on at Pudgy Penguins? And again, we'll get to that, but yeah, a lot of people don't know that Disney's already on chain with VeVe thousands of times with a bunch of their stuff, with Marvel, Fox, Disney, their comics. It's incredible. And again, a lot of people really don't know this. Now, a lot of people do. A lot of people that I interview, they either know about VeVe or they have stuff on VeVe and haven't used it in a while. But again, I think this is something that is going to be a net positive for VeVe. It's like, well, Chavez, you said this is like big competition for him, right? Yeah, I previously said that anyone that would be in second place, according to digital collectibles platforms, would be a distant second. But this announcement in general, I think, puts Cryptoys at a pretty close second. And it's like, okay, well, if they're going to take away people and customers from VeVe, isn't that a bad thing? And I say no, because could they take customers away from VeVe, where people that are on VeVe, are they going to say, all right, I'm done with VeVe, I'm going to go here now because this is where the hype is? Maybe a couple of, I'm going to check them out. Does that mean I'm going to stop spending my time and money on VeVe? No. I mean, as long as VeVe persists and continues to be what it always is, dropping awesome content, having great community, having great parties, yeah, I'll be with VeVe forever. But I'm also gonna check this other thing out. Let's see what they do. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. And will some people be like, all right, I have a couple $100s per month, and right now, let's say that all goes to VeVe. Will they say like, well, let me split it now, and will they kind of take some people that would have put all of their extra income into VeVe, and now they kind of split that? Yes, that will happen. But also a lot of these people that, again, don't know that Disney's already on chain, they're going to go to this site, They're going to go to whatever Cryptoys has next, whatever drop they have next. That's Disney, whatever it is. They're going to go in and they're going to buy it. They might even buy some of the older stuff on. Again, they have Yoda, they have Princess Leia, and we don't have that on VeVe, so it would make sense that they go there. And what are they going to do? They're probably going to search videos of Leia NFTs or Leia Cryptoys NFTs and or Vader NFTs, Luke NFTs, whatever that they do. And yeah, they might find a video or two about that on Cryptoys. But what they're actually going to find is mostly VeVe content, whether it be from me or from somebody else. And that's a good thing because people that had no idea what VeVe was, they're going to benefit from that. They're going to benefit because they're going to go in and say, "Oh, I didn't know they already had first appearance Vader on the blockchain." Like, okay, VeVe, well, they don't have Leia, they don't have Yoda, but they have first appearance Luke, they have first appearance Vader, Boba Fett, amazing stuff. They even have like the TIE Fighter, and they have everything. And VeVe's going to benefit from that because VeVe doesn't need to do the marketing. All of these guys are going to do the marketing. It reminds me of years ago when Ford had their electric vehicle truck Super Bowl commercial, spending $5 million, $8 million, however much million on that Super Bowl ad. You would think that people would go in and Google Ford electric truck, and they did. But most people Googled Tesla. And it's like, okay, well, that's interesting. Ford pays the millions of dollars in advertising, but Tesla gets a marketing bump. I think that whatever deal that they have, and again, we'll get to Pudgy Penguins in a second, whatever deal that they have with Abstract, like all the marketing that's going to go, one, it's just going to grow the hobby, which is an amazing thing because the hobby has been struggling. Well, it's been in decline. I wouldn't say struggling because people spend tens of thousands of. I mean, the other day, somebody bought a number 41 VeVe logo for $20,000. So clearly there's still big sales happening, especially on VeVe. VeVe has they have one of ones that go out and they sell for thousands of dollars every week. It's incredible. And that's something that other platforms, especially something like Cryptoys, don't really have. And again, as the hobby grows, so will VeVe. I would much rather VeVe have 10% of 10 million as opposed to 50% of 100,000. I know the stupid fudders will be like, oh yeah, well, look at VeVe right here and look at it 6 months from now. They're going to lose market share. They probably will, but let's say there's 100,000, users between everywhere and VeVe has, let's say, 20% market share of that. It's like, okay, 20% of 100,000 is less than 10% of a million. Like like people know that, right? Like again, even if they don't, I would much rather have a smaller percentage of a much larger pie than majority percentage of a smaller pie because yeah, you might get 50% of something, but if that 50% is this much, but 10% is this much, yeah, you go with the latter all day. So again, it's going to be really good for the hobby. As they bring in more people just to digital collecting, VeVe will benefit from that. And again, I hope there's some type of collab that they can do. Now on to Pudgy Penguin. Why are all of their people going in and congratulating everyone? And why is Will Weinrobs, who's CEO of Cryptoys, why is his PFP not something that's on his platform? Why is it not a Vader or a Luke or a He-Man? Why is it a Pudgy Penguin? Well, what I'm hypothesizing here is that Cryptoys didn't just have this in their back pocket. Again, you don't not make revenue for 15 months and then suddenly come out with this amazing partnership. I'd say this partnership probably happened because of I don't want to say takeover, like hostile takeover, but probably happened because of an acquisition. Again, like, if they could raise money, how much money could they actually raise? Not a lot based on the revenues. They might have had, you could say they could argue, well, we still have a little bit because we had, a bunch of users here. And based on the metrics of, whatever we had last year, we're still worth something and we raise money that way. I don't think that's what happened. I think that they have the licenses for X amount of years and another company, whether it's Abstract or Pudgy Penguins, like, yeah, again, if I'm Pudgy Penguins, if I'm Luca, if I'm them, I'm going on saying, okay, We have our NFTs. We have our Pengu token. How else do we capitalize on this? We're in Walmart. VeVe, you guys do fidgetals all the time, right? Yeah, we just did Agoro. We've had KFC and obviously Figpin. And yeah, we have a bunch of stuff. We do fidgetals all the time. It's like, okay, we want to do fidgetals. We want to do, 3 drops a month, and every now and then for like holidays and stuff, we want to do special stuff. Maybe he's like, listen, and again, I'm just speculating here. VeVe might say, listen, we can give you a drop like next year, but we have so many other companies that we have to, we have 300 big brands over here that are a lot bigger than Pudgy Penguins. Like, okay, well, in the Web3 space, because in the Web3 space, Pudgy Penguins is like top tier. And what Pudgy Penguins probably did, and again, this is all speculation here, is like, well, do I want to be one of the 300 plus brands that, is on VeVe, where we don't really have a lot of, pull with what happens with our IP? Or do we just buy an existing platform that already has some of the licenses that VeVe has, and then we could be shoulder to shoulder with them in a way that we want to do it? Because VeVe might be able to give them 1 drop every X amount of weeks or months, but I would imagine Pudgy Penguins would want to have more drops. They want to do whatever. So again, this is all speculation. None of this is announced, but I don't believe that Will Weinrob has a Pudgy Penguins PFP unless something like that was going on. All the Pudgy Penguins doing high fives, handshakes. So again, there's got to be something going on. I don't know what it is. Overall, I think it's very, very positive for the space. And yeah, how's VeVe going to respond? Could Cryptoys and this new partnership overtake VeVe and become the #1 digital collectibles platform? I think a lot of not good things would have to happen for VeVe, and a lot of stuff would have to hit perfectly for them. And in a scenario, if you ran 100 simulations, yeah, there's probably a couple scenarios in which they could. I think VeVe's got a few things up their sleeves. I'm not 100% sure what David's big announcement was supposed to be X amount of months ago, when he's supposed to actually do that. I know that as far as the token goes, there's a bunch of my friends that are looking to buy. I think we're actually looking up to buy about 2 billion now. And no one that I talk to is selling, which begs the question, somebody's selling the OMI token. We don't know who it is. Granted, all the people that are asking me to buy, try to facilitate an OTC deal with a big whale, all in America. Because in America, you only really have one place to get it, unless you're in VPN, but a lot of my guys are a little bit older. They can barely work at Coinbase and Coinbase Wallet. Doing a VPN would probably be too complicated for them. So again, this is the reality of the situation, is that there is a lack of liquidity for the token right now. And yeah, I can advise them to keep going on to not just Coinbase Wallet. We tried OKX Wallet. I could try to facilitate it. Okay, send me the money. I could do it on OKX Wallet, Binance Wallet, all these other places. But it's we've had it before where some people just like, okay, I can't buy a $250,000, like it's supposed to be a $30-something million project, and I can't buy like a $250,000 worth of the token, and they just go elsewhere. Now a lot of people are being like, hey, this is very undervalued. I want to buy the token, and they're settling for going in and saying like, okay, I'm gonna sit next to this computer and every 45 minutes buy $1,000 worth. And that's what they do. Where Cryptoys, I think, would have unless they use the Pengu token. Again, I'm just spitballing ideas here. But I think that once this NFT bull market comes back, OMI goes crazy just because it's associated with VeVe. If Cryptoys, maybe they can use Pengu. I don't know. Again, we're going to have to wait and see what develops. Either way, that's it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye to Dashi. And I can't wait to see y'all in Vegas next week. Let's go. I love this game.